Hello ladies, gentlemen, and those that don't identify themselves in that binary. I'm the Ski, and welcome to my Pokémon Shield Nuzlocke. I headed in to the Galar Mine, ran forward, decided right, it's time to... didn't get a chance to swirl, and came across a Timber. Timber, excellent fighting type Pokemon. It was Black and White's variation on Machop, I believe. It has the same sort of role in the game, it has the same evolution to evolution from Trade at the end. And I had Barkley out front, so I decided to Flame Wheel. So that's a nice chunk of damage. I can use Barkley going forward. And the Timber decided to use Leer, and I thought, great, Barkley's defense can fall. It's probably going to survive one hit even now. So then, Barkley used Flame Wheel. Yes, Timber down into the red. And I thought to myself, this is important, I thought to myself, great, at this point I can use a Pokeball. But instead of that, I hit Fight, and then Flame Wheel. And the first encounter of the Galar Mine, I Flame Wheeled Timber into unconsciousness, losing my chance to capture it. So we were exploring the Galar Mine and ran into this Worker Keith. Worker Keith's first Pokemon was Roggenrola. This is a Pokemon with weak armour as its ability, which was quite interesting for the way we were fighting it. So Rupert was out first and used Brutal Swing to just get some damage in. Now weak armour dropped its defence and raised its speed. This meant that I wasn't sure which Pokemon would go first, and if possible, Payback going second would do 100 power damage rather than 50. Now, Rupert was faster than Roggenrola for the second turn, but the third turn you can see Roggenrola was faster, which meant that Payback was much more powerful and took it out very quickly. And it's how you can use abilities in Nuzlocke, in fact just in Pokemon in general, to get a major advantage despite the advantage it should be giving. Galar Mine itself is fun to explore as there's branching paths which we don't see many of in the game, especially in the previous routes. Route 3, Route 2 and Route 1 are all sort of very one way. So we can pick up a TM there. There's 3 Great Balls to pick up here. Picking up Great Balls always good for us as there's very few places to pick them up in the game. It expects you to buy them. But then we came across Worker Georgia. Worker Georgia hurtfully sent out a Timber. I'd only just failed to catch the Timber and I was still feeling pretty salty about it, and she decides that a Timber isn't the thing to send against us. Well, I had to switch out Rupert because I didn't have any moves that would be effective from Rupert. Moved into Mulder, and Mulder used Confusion to do a lot of damage to the Timber. Quite rightly, I thought, after she sent out a Pokemon just to taunt me. She still had 2 more Pokemon, but as we leveled up, there was a choice of learning the move Endure on Rupert. Endure, not usually a fantastic move, it means that you'll survive on 1 hit point. But with a Nuzlocke, if we're trying to stall something, using Endure is rather useful, as it means that we can keep Rupert in and then switch out at the next turn, knowing he's going to survive. But Georgia sends out a second Timber straight after that, just to make me upset. Still, Mulder's in, and Mulder uses Confusion to take out the second Timber and serve Georgia right for taunting me with her second Timber when I couldn't even have the one that I may have captured earlier. So Georgia sends out a third Timber, and I was getting quite ticked off at this point. So again, it was Confusion, Confusion, and Timber went down. Not, of course, without doing a little bit of damage to Mulder with his moves. Still, Worker Georgia, with her 3 Timber party, was defeated. And we got a few more levels in, which included level 18 on Korax, our Rookidee, who evolved from a Rookidee into a Corvisquire. Love the aesthetic on Corvisquire. Nice middle evolution, and I like the national bird of Galar in general. But we moved on, picked up the Scary Face TM. I'm not sure I'll ever use it in this Nuzlocke, but nevertheless it's nice to have. And saw 2 Woobats. So the first Woobat decided to take out with my good friend Mrs. Snowy. Woobat, being flying psychic type, is going to take extra damage, and Mrs. Snowy had picked up Ice Shard recently. I wanted to see how good it was, and Ice Shard seemed pretty nice there, taking out most of Woobat's health, and then the second Ice Shard finishing Woobat off entirely. Knowing there was a second Woobat just next to us, I decided that I want to change Pokemon to sort of spread out the leveling, spread out the XP. So we go into the next battle with Woobat, and out front is Barkley. Barkley intimidates the Woobat. That's not as particularly important for us. But Barkley has Bite, and Bite is super effective. One hit KO, the Woobat goes down. I like having Barkley in the team. Barkley is a prime Pokemon to use in the first gym against the Grass-type trainer. Seeing another Worker, and seeing that the Workers like fighting and Rock-type Pokemon, to shift the party around a little. So, Worker Sandra sends out Diglett, Ground-type. Okay, Ground-type I can deal with. So, Molder's out front. Molder's got good defences, but Ground-type tend to be physical attackers, so we put up the Reflect. After that, Astonish comes in. Astonish, strong against Molder because of the Psychic typing, but Confusion did a fair amount of damage to Diglett, and having seen the damage that was taken, I didn't feel the need to worry, and the second Confusion took out the Diglett nice and quickly. She then sent out a Drillbur, another Ground-type Pokemon. We still had the defences up. Took a critical hit, but that wasn't too much of a bother, so we could use more Confusions in future. I had spread Orang Berries around the team so that they could recover a bit of health after all those berry trees that we shook earlier on. So it was using Confusion, just slowly taking out Drillbur, knowing that the amount of damage it could do wouldn't take out Molder before we won this fight. That dealt with Worker Sandra, and we were able to progress further into the Galar Mine. Walking across the bridge, we could see in the distance there was going to be another trainer, so I moved Molder out of the front of the party and put Barkley up front. And you can see there's another Worker for us to fight. This Worker, Worker Russell, was the last Worker we were going to have to fight in the mine before we progressed on, and they sent out a Roly-Coly, the new Rock and later Fire-type Pokemon of the Galar region. I had a look at Barkley's moves and thought, well, the Flame Wheel won't be effective, but the Bite may well, so we'll start with the Bite and see what happens. Doing just over a third damage and taking very little from a critical hit, I decided to continue with Barkley, do the bites, take some tackles, and then defeat this Worker, taking the Roly-Coly out with some bites. They're not the most effective moves, but it did the job. That freed us up to pick up the last items left and progress down towards the exit. Quite a few items, got another revive, useless to us, but you know, nice to pick things up. And in the distance we could see our soon-to-be rival, Bede, the character we met earlier, leaving the opening of the gym challenge ceremony, ready for our first rival battle with this rival. I walked forward and was immediately challenged by this individual, this person that's going to become our rival, say that any trainer with a wishing star is in for a battle, and of course we're always ready to battle. So they do their standard signature hair flip and tell us that we're a joke. The chairman is more important than the champion, so being endorsed by the chairman makes them more amazing than we are because we are only endorsed by Leon, the unbeatable champion. So Pokemon trainer Bede here sends out a Solosis, first of all. Solosis is a Psychic type, and we've got Barkley up front. Barkley's Intimidate doesn't do a lot because Psychic types in general are special attackers, not physical attackers, but Barkley has Bite, and Bite is more than good enough to do a lot of damage to Solosis, not quite the one-hit KO. Bede understands, obviously, that this was a super effective move and is just giving us a chance, and we understand that Bede's just giving us a chance. But Barkley, being quick, is able to use a Bite to take out Solosis with the second attack, thus keeping it ready to fight whatever comes out next. So Bede only using 3 Pokemon today, but that first Pokemon could have done a lot of damage if we hadn't been prepared with a Bite out front. So Gothita is there, and of course we've got Bite, so why not continue on with it and do more than half of Gothita's hit points in one bite. Barkley takes a Psybeam, which does quite a bit of damage and confuses it. I had the choice, do I keep Barkley in? With the Oran Berry, she's got a reasonable amount of hit points, but she's not guaranteed to make the hit with Bite. And it was the guarantee I was looking for. So I looked through the party. We've got some good stuff going on all the way through. Didn't want to put Rupert out in case of psychic attack against the fighting type. But Fried Out was there, and Fried Out is a bug type. Bug types are strong against psychic. So I thought, yes, let's go with Fried Out. Level 17, close to level 18, if we can get some more XP onto it. But of course that first bit of damage did quite a lot, and the Oran Berry brought us back up over half, so I thought we could probably take one hit of whatever Gavita sent out. So, looking down, deciding what's going to be better, physical or special attack. Took a minute to decide, but decided that Bug Bite, the physical attack, would probably do more damage, and indeed Gavita was taken out in one hit by Fried Out. So our combi levelled up, which was wonderful, getting us closer and closer for the combi to become a Vespiquen. And we had to face just one more of Bede's Pokemon. Bede, realising they're down to their last Pokemon, sends out Hatina. Now Hatina is a Psychic Fairy type. So we had Fried Out, it had a lot of hit points. Did we want to be fighting it? Had a think and decided actually we've got Korax. Korax has just evolved, so it's going to be more powerful than previously, not just by a level, but by some whole new stats around it. So out comes our Corvisquire for the first time. So Korax prevents Hatina eating berries. I don't know whether it was holding a berry, but always useful. And Korax takes 10 hit points of damage. I thought that's more than fair, and that we can probably continue and win this battle with Korax without need for anything else. So we started with Pluck and did more than 50% of Hatina's health in one hit. Happy with that. This time took 12 points of damage, so nothing that was going to do too much harm. And second Pluck dealt with Hatina, thereby dealing with Bede for the first time. Bede's going to be turning up throughout the plot, and he's a sort of different type of rival, because obviously Hop, being a challenger, has sort of a bit of everything, whereas Bede is a sort of specialist psychic type trainer, essentially, to begin with, so we have to be a bit more focused when we're going into battle. Bede tells us that they've collected every wishing star in the area, so can leave. We can just wander about, pick up the items, and progress on. At this point, I'd like to thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please do like and subscribe. I've been The Ski. Have a lovely day.